Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on your preferred podcast platform. Follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. And as always, email us, bjandbillthepodcast@gmail.com, as we welcome you to episode 148. And for once during the podcast, I can relax because it's Bill Stevens that has all of the news and information today, because his world has been turned topsy-turvy.
Thanks, Grandpa. Can I come over and smack you in the face?
Hey, usually it's like, oh, I got this doctor's appointment. Oh, I got this surgery. Oh, I got this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit back and relax.
And I'll talk for an hour.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, just stop me in an hour and it's over. No, so we're recording this late. I mean, we normally record on a Monday morning, and it's a Monday afternoon, so that's fine. I had an eye doctor appointment today, as you can see, still well dilated. Thank you. As you can see, Bill's left eyeball.
Are you on drugs or something?
I am on drugs. Whatever they do to dilate your eye it's heavy duty, and I, got 3 or 4 drops of it. So, but the good news, I'm not sure that it's good news or not, but the doctor's like, he does his thing once a month now. I've been going last 3 or 4 times. And all they do is, of course, they shine that super bright, shiny light into your eye with his lens in hand, and he looks to the back of your eyeball and sees what's going on, and they take pictures of it and all that. And he looked and he said, yeah, healed nicely, all of that. There's a little bit of a, what did he call it? Inflammation or something? He wasn't, I don't remember, because he uses big terms and I don't know what they are. But anyway, something going on the eyeball there that, he goes, I said, is it something to worry about? He goes, no, not really, but maybe we'll move up your oil change procedure. I've talked about this now for I don't know how many shows, but, I have this goo in my eye swimming around in there that helps the healing process, but it also means I can't see for nothing out of this left eyeball. It's just terrible. All I see is blur. Not helpful for my pickleball. And I remember telling the doctor last time I was there, I'm like, this is not helping my pickleball. And he's like, what's important to you? And I'm like, yeah, I know, damn it. My vision is important. So I'll suffer through bad pickleball. And it was going to be October when, of course, if you're listening, we're recording this right after 4th of July weekend. It was going to be October when I got the finishing touch to this procedure, which is they take out the goo that's in there, the oil that's in there, and I guess they put back the real thing. Or maybe nothing, and it regenerates. I have no idea. That was going to be October. And he said, well, maybe we'll move that up to August. And now half of me is going, oh, yay. And the other half is going, wait, what? Is something wrong? So I'm going back for another one of my monthly checkups in a month, which I've been doing, like I said, last 3-4 months. And then he said, then we'll make a decision about maybe moving up the procedure to clean things up and maybe do it middle of August. So I think that's good news.
If it was my eye, I would take it as good news.
Thank you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to the fact that it's going to be good news. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I would be telling myself is that, oh, good, it is healed nicely. Now they are ready to move on to the next step.
Yes.
And life.
All of the above.
Beautiful.
All of the above. All of the above. Yeah. So
now, I'll be curious after that happens, the podcast after that happens, to see how that procedure is. I'm thinking it's definitely not going to be as bad, I would think, as your original surgery. But again, I don't know.
I would agree with you, because the first one, they had to go in there and, laser beam the back of the eyeball to stick everything back in place. So there won't be any of that. Now, if there's something going on back there that he needs to take a closer look at, I don't maybe maybe they jam another camera into your eyeball, and so it's so gross. The good news is you're on really good drugs and you don't feel much of anything. So a little pinprick now and then, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm gonna think of that as good news. So I'm with you. I'm going with the good news story, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's half of today's news from Bill Stevens.
Well, maybe we should take our first quick break now and come back with chapter 2 of Bill's life.
I was going to say the rest of the story, but this is a completely different story. So yes, all right. Just hang in there. This quick break.
Let's just say it's not been Bill's better day.
It's been a Monday. It's been a Monday of Mondays, and we will tell you all about it in just a minute. So yes, we're back, and so the other half of the story.
Now, in my opinion,
yes,
this is the worst half of your story.
This is the worst half of the story because now my day is pretty much, I'm not going to say ruined, but it's whatever. I lost my wallet over the weekend.
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens. And I was thinking to myself this morning, because I'm on my way out the door to the doctor's appointment, rewind the tape and you'll hear about that. I couldn't find my wallet. And I'm like, oh, it's in the car. I played pickleball Saturday night. It's in the car. I usually leave it in the glove box and I'll pick it up on the way out. Wasn't in the glove box. Went to the back of the car, looked at my pickleball bag. Sometimes I'll stuff it into the pickleball bag when I'm playing pickleball. Wasn't in the bag. Went back upstairs, searched around the house a little, nothing. Went to the appointment without it. Literally, as I am sitting in the waiting room for the doctor's appointment, I'm getting a text message from my bank's fraud department saying, did you authorize these charges? And I'm like, oh, fluff.
Fudge.
Oh, fluff. I did lose the wallet. So yes, I did lose the wallet. Thankfully, not thankfully, but I mean, the bank was good. And they're like, oh, gee, 8 charges in a row at, Circle K's and liquor stores and whatever. It's like, is this you? I'm like, no. So literally they go through every charge. They back up until they find one charge that you actually did make. And so there was about 6 of them, all right here where I'm at in Gainesville. So yeah, great. Wonderful. So the wallet had that debit card, another credit card, which I went online again, sitting in the doctor's office, stopped that credit card, ordered a new one. Whew, thank you. Had the driver's license. Now I'm going to go to the wonderful state of Florida DMV website and see if I can order a driver, which I did. I was able to do when I moved, so I should be able to make it happen. Easy enough. And probably $50 cash it might have had in there. So that's the price I'm paying for my stupidity. So I'll be spending the rest of my day cursing myself out. So how's it going with you, BJ Odom?
Actually, for once, I can say it's going pretty good. Well, I have my stories too, but they're not even close to Bill Stevens' stories.
I don't know if that's a good thing or it's not a bad. Well, yeah, no. If you didn't lose any money or a wallet, it's a good story. So there you go.
But I may have lost a vacation.
Oh no! Last week we were talking, and he and I have been chatting off the podcast about him going on vacation here. And so, what's going on?
Okay, so this is our bad. We thought maybe the daughter and the new boyfriend would like to go with us.
Yes.
And, he's not retired. And of course, she's a teacher, so she has the summers off.
Right.
But he has a job.
Right.
Something he has to go to, I guess, and make his bosses happy.
Yeah, you've heard of that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a pain, but yeah.
And he's like one of the, he's like high up in the IT world of SeaWorld.
Yes.
He doesn't work for SeaWorld. He works for whatever the company is that owns SeaWorld.
Oh, okay.
So he's a corporate guy.
They were owned by Anheuser-Busch for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, they aren't now.
Not anymore, but yeah.
I don't know who owns them now, but
yeah.
They have they've got quite a few parks across the country. They have Sesame Street Park. They have I think 3 or 4 Sea Worlds.
Yes.
I don't know what all, and they own, of course, they still own Busch Gardens, even
Yes.
though it's not Anheuser-Busch, and some other parks across the country.
Yes.
So there's times that he's working, on some park that's in California, but he can do it all, because it's all computer.
Of course.
He does it here. Sometimes he has to fly out and fix a major problem, but usually he does it, right there in his office
Cool.
or at home because, he does a lot of it at home also. So he has a limited time that he can take off and it's summer. So this is like, where my daughter gets off, this is like their
Busy season. Yeah, of course.
So for him to go into the office and say, "Hey, I need to take a few days off here."
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, not so much.
Not during this. It's kind of like us during, when we were in radio,
Yes.
during the ratings, you didn't
Yes.
ask for time off because you could go in and ask.
You can ask. The answer will be no. When it's
Yeah.
ratings time, all hands on deck. Right.
Right. So kind of the same deal. So we said, okay, they're not going to go. That's good. Or not. And we didn't say good, but okay, now let's just make a reservation. And so we went to make reservations, and finding something now is because, we were talking about going not next week, but the week after. Pretty difficult to find a reservation.
Where were you looking?
We were looking Ella J.
Ella J, Georgia.
Yeah.
Really? Because
Or Blue Ridge.
right. So, and what were you looking at Airbnbs or what?
We were kind of looking at cabins.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. Now, my wife and I one time went to a cabin, and that was in the Smoky Mountains, though.
Yes.
We had to take this road. And all of a sudden, I guess when you get into the mountains and there's places your GPS just poof.
Yes. Yes.
So let's
You're off
say
the beaten
our
path.
GPS got us started or on a road and then poof.
Oh,
Well, all of a
it's
sudden,
like, did it at least say good luck?
yeah, all of a sudden we're going up the road and all of a sudden the road is now gravel.
Gravel.
And we're going up a little bit more thinking, well, maybe it's right up here. And then it went to like hardly nothing, maybe a sliver of a path.
A little dirt. Yeah.
We're going, oh my God. And then we got where we couldn't even turn around. Like we were way up. We were like a rocket ship facing up, like we were going to the moon.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I feel the car starting to slide backwards.
Ooh.
So immediately, I tell the family, get out the car.
Well, okay.
Let me back this out. Help me back it out. Kind of
Okay.
guide me back. Because this is long before backup cameras. Let's say we're going back in time.
Right.
So here the kids are out of the car. The wife's out of the car trying to back me up on this little sliver of road. Maybe get down far enough where we can actually, let them get back in the car. And there was, put it this way, that on that instant, I thought the car was going to be kind of at the bottom of the hill in kind of pieces.
Oh boy.
But we did make it down, so that was good.
Yeah, well, good.
So my wife has seen a few cabins that are available.
Okay.
It said, must have a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, really?
And so she goes, I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, no, that ain't for you. No, that is not for you with your cute little electric Disney car. Yeah, no.
No. So basically she found some of those and we just said, let's just forget about it for now. And now she's kind of looking, we're old farts. She's got to look, okay, you got this doctor's appointment. I got this doctor's appointment.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So we've like down the road, maybe another month, we found a week and a half that's nothing going on. So
I'm actually surprised you couldn't find it because summertime up there, Blue Ridge area, Blue Ridge Mountains, that's not really a season up there. I mean, season starts in the fall when the leaves change, and then everybody's going to come and see the leaves change, and they have their harvest festivals, apples and pumpkins and everything else. But in the summertime, it's I mean,
I
that's
was
interesting.
I was surprised too, but like I said, the wife's kind because I told the wife, by the way, my loving wife, and of course today is Monday, the 7th day of July.
Yes, it is.
I'll just get all these out of the way right now. Happy anniversary. Happy 40th anniversary. How my wife has ever put up with me.
Is today really your 40th anniversary?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, huge congratulations.
So 40 years
Wow.
that she's been cursed with a marriage to me.
This is, as they say in baseball, this is first ballot Hall of Fame. This is immediate sainthood. Putting out with you. What else?
And then my granddaughter, Faith, happy birthday to her. My niece on Susan's side,
Right.
having a birthday today.
Wow.
And then if you go way back to my ex, her brother, which, I still look at him as a brother-in-law,
Right.
celebrating a birthday today.
Wow. All today, Monday, July 7. Wow.
Really, we didn't think about this or think, well, of course, the granddaughter wasn't married.
Right.
40
Wasn't born.
years ago.
Right.
My daughter's not even 40 yet.
Right. How old's the granddaughter?
I think 17 though.
Wow.
I think it's 17, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Because last year was the sweet 16, as they say.
Gotcha.
Okay, now back to the story with the cabin. I've been on the road as a comedian for many years.
Of course.
Something about comedy club owners, not all. I'm going to say there are some out there that take really good care of the comics.
Right.
And put us in really nice hotels.
Yeah.
But then there's the other 90%.
I was going to say, those are few and far between.
That put us pretty much in shitholes.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I'm used to that. I'm used to people at 4:00 in the morning pounding on my door, wanting to know if I want to buy crack cocaine. I'm used to that from all my years in comedy.
Right.
So those don't bother me. They bother the wife.
I bet.
And I have found some cabins. But whenever we go on a vacation,
yes,
because I have been married 40 years and I have learned through past experiences that it's pretty much almost got me kicked out of the house. I basically say,
you're a yappy dog.
The dog's going wild because I heard something at the, and my wife goes by smiling.
Yes. Hi.
But I have learned when it's a vacation or anything.
Yes.
I say, dear, you go get the cabin.
Wow.
Because I'm telling you,
your ring doorbell is now wired into your board there because we can hear when somebody's at your door.
You're going to hear her come back in the house probably.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the way it works here, let's see. Oh, I guess it didn't. Oh, well, she's not in yet though, but she's by the door.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
But I always just give that job to her.
That's probably smart.
Because
probably smart.
And I look myself, I found some available cabins. So but I'm just going to say I found some available cabins.
Were these the ones that required a 4x4?
No, I don't know. Okay. Really, I didn't read into that. There's a cabin. There's a cabin.
There you go.
So
I'm surprised. What are you searching like Airbnb or are you just searching on Expedia or something like that or what?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what she's searching on.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe, who knows? Maybe she just doesn't want to go the week that we were going to go.
I understand.
Maybe her boyfriend's going to be in town or something. I shouldn't say that. It's my 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary. He has put up with you for 40 years, BJ Odom. The woman, if you don't take the woman out for the nicest dinner ever tonight, I'm going to give you hell for it.
Yeah, well, I told her, I said, wherever you want to go today, that's right. We'll go.
There you go.
I even said, and then somebody just kick me in the head now and take away my wallet like Bill Stevens.
There you go.
But I said, even if you want to go to one of the Disney resorts or something for a nice dinner,
A Disney? Yeah, no.
those resorts, they have some nice, they have some really nice restaurants.
Oh, the resort. I was thinking on the property itself, but no. Okay, yeah, you're right. If you went to one of the resorts, I get it, but
But it's salty.
yeah,
But again, 40 years.
40 years.
My wife has put up with a
You absolutely positively owe her whatever she wants. Absolutely.
Oh, that's what I've done. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So,
she's still in the process of.
okay, cool. So we'll hear next week. Post some pictures. No, post some pictures on the Facebook page when you go tonight, and whatever. So yeah. But if it's me, I'm dialing up like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or something like that.
What the? Hey, why are you hammering a nail? I know it's our anniversary and I love you, but why are you hammering something on the wall right now? Oh my God.
Really?
There may not be 41 years, Bill Stevens.
It may not go 41. She's building your coffin. She's nailing your coffin together.
Sometimes I'm really worried.
Right.
I really worry about this marriage sometimes.
You're worried. What are you worried about? You've been doing it for 40 years. It's incredible.
I think we're gonna have to take a break so I can go out and manage this situation now, and then we'll come back and we'll end the second half of the show.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Let's take a quick break. And is this our halfway? This is our halfway break.
Yeah, this is our halfway.
This is our halfway break. All right. All right, everybody. Go refill your coffee. We will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. It's been a crazy first half of the show, but still, we would invite you to leave that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, you name it, we're there. We're like mold. We're everywhere. So just give us a shout. And you can look us up on Facebook. Do a search for BJ and Bill, the podcast on Facebook. And also, you can email the show, BJ and Bill, the podcast at gmail.com. So did you figure out what was going on?
I don't know. She was putting something up on the wall. She goes, I'm done now.
Okay, good.
I go, why did you even start?
It's her anniversary. She can do whatever she wants. I think that's probably the thinking.
I know that's what the thinking is.
I'm not sure she needs it to be her anniversary to do whatever the hell she wants in that house, but that's just me. So while we were gone, we did a quick search. There are cabins available for the time you're looking for in LJ, Florida. They are not cheap.
LJ, Florida?
Georgia. I'm sorry, LJ. Oh, that might make a difference, you think. LJ, Georgia. They are not cheap. So I'm kind of a cheapskate on that. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to stay in a probably really nice hotel somewhere.
And that's, I don't know who knows. I told her, just look when you want to look. Maybe that's it. I'm thinking maybe deep down, she just didn't want to go when I want.
Maybe so. All right. Well, that's fine. All right. So we've pretty much covered all of the bummed out stories of the week. BJ, no vacation. Bill, lost wallet. A medical stuff. All of that. We got to do something fun here. Something interesting. Something funny. Something whatever.
And we can't even talk any sports hardly at all. There's, besides, the WNBA.
Right.
And I'm not a baseball fan, but you may have watched a few baseball games. But
I watched your Cubbies bomb the St. Louis Cardinals last night. It was 10-0 when I turned it off in like the 5th or the 6th inning. So I don't know what the final was.
Now, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I read something where they were like in their, I don't know if it was their division or if it was the, National League, but they had the best record in their.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. See, I haven't followed baseball, but maybe
I hear you.
Who knows? Maybe the Cubs will surprise us. And no,
no, that couldn't be. All right, I'm heading over to MLB.com. let's look at standings. Yeah, and my Cleveland Guardians are like totally not doing well this year either. So, all right, so the teams we follow: Tampa Bay Rays, third place in the AL East. They are only 3 games behind Toronto. Not bad. Cleveland Guardians, my old hometown team, are really not doing well this year. They are 15 games behind the Tigers. All right, let's go over to the National League where BJ's. There you go. BJ's Chicago Cubs are indeed leading the National League Central. They don't have the best record, but they're really close. I mean, they are 54 and 36 on the year so far. So there you go. It's going well. So but now All-Star game is this week, I think.
See,
I don't.
When I was
young, like you, I don't pay that much attention, so it's not a huge thing for me. Whatever.
I don't know, but it's really funny that I'm starting to see a lot of articles, people all getting up in arms about, they need to start taking control, these referees in the WNBA.
I think I agree with that. I think the front office definitely needs to lay down the law about what's acceptable behavior and what's not. I think you start, finding some people. If you're LeBron James and you get fined $10,000, he drops that. That's pocket change. He drops that on a Friday night for dinner somewhere. If you find one of the ladies in the WNBA some significant money, they're not making that much. That might get their attention a little bit more. And I agree with that. I think it's getting a little out of hand. I do.
And now, kind of Caitlin Clark, I thought, she'd been out about 2 or 3 games now, and it's about time. Tried to watch one of their games. Well, I did watch probably half of it, but,
right.
No Caitlin Clark except for on the bench.
Yeah.
Civilian clothes, jumping up and down.
Civilian clothes.
Oh, here's a question for you.
I'm listening.
Let's say I was interested, and I am, but I'm not. A Caitlin Clark jersey.
A Caitlin Clark jersey. Got to be out there somewhere.
Oh, all right, they're available, but are they? Is that something that only a woman would wear? Or, if you saw, let me do this. Like, so you're at the gym,
right?
And you see this guy come in a Caitlin Clark jersey. What are you?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I guess I'm asking. I don't even know if it'd be appropriate to wear.
Yeah, that might not be exactly what you want. Now, they do have them. I mean, would a T-shirt be better? A little less, shall we say? Well, I don't want to get myself in trouble, so I don't know what I'm going to say.
Because
but
but even if you go out and buy a, let's say, a Warriors jersey,
right?
They're all the same. They're all got the one strap, most of them.
Right.
And I'm just not into that anyway, because I have an old Magic jersey.
Okay.
And I never wear that because I don't like wearing that style of clothes.
Right.
At least a football jersey, you got, some sleeves on it.
Right. Yeah, by the way, in case you're interested, the Caitlin Clark Nike official WNBA blue jersey with the yellow striping and the yellow lettering is $100. $99.99.
Yes, that's not a bad price for it. I just don't know. I just don't know if I would wear it out in public. And I know that sounds stupid, but I think in the back of my mind, would I? Well, actually, I wouldn't wear it anyway because I don't wear jerseys with, with.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
If I had muscles, maybe I'd think about it.
Right. So I think you've opened an interesting can of worms here because, I mean, if you go to an NBA game, you see men and women both wearing the jerseys of their favorite players and their teams and all of that stuff. So now that the literal shoe is on the literal other foot, is it okay for a guy to wear a ladies' WNBA jersey? What an interesting question.
I say yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't want to be Neanderthals about this. We don't want to be I don't want to use the sexist word, but we don't want to be sexist about it. No. It's just, it didn't sound weird until you started talking about it. I got to be honest with you.
I know. I started thinking the other day, I says, I wouldn't mind getting a Caitlin Clark jersey. And then I took a second to think about it. And I go, oh, but what would I wear a Caitlin Clark jersey? Like,
right.
Maybe to Walmart. That
right.
was appropriate.
Walmart. Now you could wear, they do have regular t-shirts with the Fever logo and it even has, the Caitlin 22 on the back of the t-shirt. I think I would be better with that. And it's also $29 versus $99. So I'm better with it. I'm cheap. Am I just cheap? I'm cheap.
No, but maybe it's, I don't know. I think it's for being in radio so many years. Cause I am too.
Cheap?
I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to pay that for that.
And yet you were ready to spend $500 for a cabin in Ellijay, Georgia. But I get it. That could be
but that's vacation.
That's vacation. You're right. That's vacation.
If I'm going to, and I told you, when we were off the air,
right.
And we had this discussion because you were looking for a cabin. Now, and I told you just 2 days,
Yes.
And then I said, but, that doesn't sound like much of a vacation, I know. But then the other nights we would have stayed like in a hotel, maybe the first night,
right?
Maybe not went all the way up to wherever cabin was, so we could get the full day of it, Right. And then of course,
and I've thought about it. I'm like, all right, if I'm on vacation in the Blue Ridge Mountains, beautiful area, and like we found one cabin that literally you said's got to be near water. So we did find one literally with a creek in the backyard, not just a little tiny little stream, no, a real live creek, very pretty, could go fishing or canoeing or whatever. And it literally was $500 for the 2 nights.
That's not bad.
I'm like, all right. I mean, yeah, I could stay in a hotel, but the problem is there's nothing at a hotel. Nothing.
I've stayed, at hotels for that much. But again, my wife picked it out. I didn't.
Yeah, no, you could, but that's what I'm saying. It would, but if you had a nice cabin like that, you could buy some burgers or some steaks or whatever and cook them yourself. And then you're not, like, if you're in a hotel, you're basically just using it to sleep the night. And then you get up and you have breakfast and you're out for the day. If you're at the cabin, you don't have to go anywhere. You can relax creekside and just, listen to the babbling brook go by and take it easy. And so I'm changing my mind on that a little bit. I see the benefit of spending the extra money to get the nice place where I can just go and chill out for a couple of days.
And that's all we were going to do for like 2 of the days. Just go and chill out.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about like the day maybe we take the train or we take a day and go to, downtown and the downtown Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Now those days would have been hotel days.
Right.
Because, like you said, you just sleep there. But we were going to take 2 days to really just sit by the babbling brook.
I love that.
Being old 40 year, anniversary couple.
Yes.
Holding hands in the rocking
chairs.
Yes.
How romantic. Okay, great.
I don't know if I'd go romantic, but
no, I changed my mind on that.
It's nice and relaxed.
Yeah. But and then, oh God, you've been to Blue Ridge, haven't you?
No.
Oh, when our friend Vicky first moved up there, our friend Vicky Wagner, who, does the other podcast, does the, Practical Path with me. When she first moved up there, I visited several times, and Blue Ridge was a tiny, sleepy little tourist town. Yes, there are other tourist towns around. This one it's small. Now, they do have the scenic railway train that's right in the middle of town. Very cool. But anyway, long story. Sleepy, quiet, easy. Vicky would call me and say, oh my God, I saw 2 cars on the road today. Now it's been discovered. It's been developed. It's been Sheraton Hotel downtown. It's been everything. And if you go on the weekend, good luck finding a parking space. And good luck finding somewhere to eat and sit, because it is packed. And I mean, to the point where Vicky and her husband Rick are actually thinking of moving because it's so crowded now. It's gotten so crazy. And it's really, I hate to say it, but it's the same thing that when I lived in Sarasota. People would ask me about living in Sarasota. I would say it's beautiful. It's being loved to death. It's being loved to death. So many people are coming. So much stuff is being built. So much stuff is being added. The traffic is a nightmare. Good luck finding a restaurant where you can eat, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but
right, so,
this is everywhere. Think when we first moved to Southwest Florida.
You bet.
I remember when I first went to Southwest Florida, you basically could drive from Fort Myers all the way to Naples. And of course, you had the stoplight there that went to Bonita.
In Bonita.
And that was it.
That was it.
And everything was wide open. I mean,
you bet.
You basically drove on 41 and saw nothing but palm trees and trees and wildlife.
Yep.
Go from Fort Myers to Naples today.
Forget it.
Because, my son, and we used to live in Estero, which basically is south of Fort Myers a little ways.
Yep.
I remember, in the beginning, I remember you go there now and I'll go with my son and he'll go, oh, we're going here, we're going there, and I'll ride with you because he has to maybe run a couple errands. And we take off down 41. And I've only been gone 4 years. And I'll sit there going, where in the hell are we? That wasn't there. That wasn't there. That wasn't. And that was just 4 years.
Before BJ and Bill, there was Paul Conrad and Bill Stevens, old friend of ours. And on what was at the time WRCC radio, FM 104. And it was on Pine Island Road.
And there was nothing out there.
I would drive, and I lived in South Fort Myers. I lived down at College Parkway. I lived at College Parkway. Or is that Daniels? No, College Parkway and 41. The villas there, whatever they call that old neighborhood. I would be driving to WRCC on Pine Island Road at 4:30 in the morning. Of course, the show starts at 5:30 or whatever. I had to drive at 4:30, 5 o'clock a.m. over the bridge, out Cape Coral Parkway, nothing. And then you would get to Chiquita, and I would turn onto Chiquita, and it was empty, no lights, no humans, no nothing. It was, I can say it now because the statute of limitations is worn off. It was 95 miles an hour up Chiquita Boulevard in the middle of the night with nobody, not a house, not a car, not a squirrel, until I got to Pine Island Road, turned on Pine Island Road, and I was right there. And now you do that, and it's like, Chiquita Boulevard is like, that's the middle of town now. That's forget it. I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, we're showing off our age again, but that's okay.
We lived in Estero.
Yep.
I worked at a radio station, WDCQ, which was Del Prado and I forget the other street, the cross street.
Yeah.
I would go there, like you said, it'd take me a little bit more in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It might take me 45 minutes to get home. And it might have taken me 30 minutes to get there in the morning. And in the afternoon, it may have taken me like an hour and 15 minutes. But now it takes you like 2 hours to get there.
It's crazy. It really, and again, here we are, just two old men ranting at, how things have changed. But yeah, if you were there back in the day, as we like to say, the change is so much, so fast, so crazy. I don't know. Where can you go? What can you do? I don't know.
Now, it was funny because someone on a Facebook post, and I forget what it was. It's like Florida. It was, because it's one of those ones that I'm on. It's like, you're from, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But a guy puts a post, where is a good small town to live in Florida? And so I'm thinking, Fort Myers is too big because that's not a small town anymore.
Not anymore. Where's
good small town living? I'm thinking, well, a place that has a little bit of everything. You even have some stores that are, the chain stores and some good restaurants. So I immediately think Sebring. It's got all the lakes. Still kind of like, to me,
right.
It's a small town.
Yes.
I immediately got like result back from him. No, I'm looking for something, with no stoplight. I'm talking small town.
Good luck.
So then I thought maybe, and that's still not a small town. It's
No.
got stoplights and stuff, but Wauchula or Arcadia can't get much smaller than those two.
Up here in the Gainesville area, you could do, and again, it all depends. See, I don't want to be so far out that it's like I have to worry about, where my nearest Publix is, or I get Publix is pretty much everywhere. I get that. Walmart or other shopping.
They have a Publix like Brunson's not probably grown quite a bit since I've been there, but Williston is kind of out on its own.
Williston's out there. No, they don't have. Well, they have. I'm sure they have. I'm not sure. I'm going to say they have a Publix. I don't know that. If you get out into the countryside in North Florida, you still get Winn-Dixie. You still get Winn-Dixie. How cool is that? So, my lady friend is sharing a place with a friend, and they live in High Springs, which I drive around there and I go, this is nice. It's a small town, literally. It's almost too small for me. I don't know where the nearest Publix is. Winn-Dixie, right there. Walmart, you got to come back into Gainesville for that, if that's important to you. Now, on the north side of Gainesville is another small town, but not that small, called Alachua, which it's Alachua County, Alachua, Florida. Now, 10 minutes from Walmart, Publix everywhere. Not bad. I could do that. I could do that because I'm looking around here and I'm like, I like where I'm at. 4th of July just passed, so we had fireworks Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. But smaller town is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. And something that's still close enough would be preferred. So maybe Alachua. Maybe I'll look up there when, lease time comes. I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
When this gentleman told me that was too big, he wanted a small town with no stoplights.
Wow.
I said Cleveland.
Ohio?
No. Cleveland. He was looking for Florida. Have you ever been through Cleveland, Florida?
Where is it?
See, I'm going to teach Bill Stevens something.
You are.
Cleveland is probably, I'm going to guess, maybe 5 miles from I-75 on 17. Before, like, let's say you're coming from Arcadia, and you're on 17 to 75, probably 4 or 5 miles. I think there's Winn-Dixie there.
Okay. Is it even a town or is it just a crossroads?
No, it's pretty much a crossroad. Yeah, but it's got a sign. It's got its Cleveland sign every time I go.
Of course it does.
We're going through Cleveland.
Yeah, there's a Cleveland everywhere. There is a Cleveland everywhere. No, I have thought, and of course this was before I met my lady friend, so plans might change depending on what we choose together. But I had always thought because the small town thing appeals to me. It really does. Have you ever been to DeLand?
That's not small.
It's not small, not really, but it's smaller than Gainesville. But it's also only like 20 minutes to Daytona.
Yeah, it kind of like of course, we're farther because we're on the other side of Orlando.
Right.
It's kind of like Claremont. To me, Claremont is a small town. To somebody wanting like a one light town or something.
Yeah.
Like a Rensselaer or where I was born and raised, Madairyville.
I
don't know what the population in that town is. Probably not more than 500. Maybe it's grown a little bit. Probably shrinked since I left.
Shrank. But yes. But no, something like the thing I like about DeLand is the downtown. It's like old school. It's like, okay, it's just a couple 4 blocks of restaurants and shops, and I love that. And there's some of those other ones around you that are like that, like Lake Mary is like that. And now those are bigger towns too, and they're probably also being developed like crazy. Claremont was nice. Where you and I had lunch that day all those years ago, that's downtown Claremont, yes?
Yes, that's downtown.
I thought that was awesome. I thought that was very nice. I could live there easy. Sure.
I'm just going to say it though. If anybody out there listening and is looking for small town life and I'm talking, small town life,
Mhm.
small town. I don't want to say this, but there's a mentality for small towns too. If you
Yes.
live in a small town, so if
Yes.
you're looking for all of that, I'm going to make one suggestion, which would be mine.
Which is
And I said it earlier, Wauchula, Florida.
Wauchula. Okay. Isn't that mostly just orange groves?
No, if you go down 17, it's they have a little bit of everything. They have a
Right.
Walmart. They have
Okay.
they have some, not very many, but they have some restaurants that are, big chain restaurants.
Yeah, I don't need big chain. I mean, I get the big chain thing, but I like local places too. Anyway, yeah,
But
by
yeah,
the way,
but
if you're ever in High Springs, Florida, Blue Star Cafe, tell them Bill sent you. Oh my gosh, what a cool little place.
I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to, I hope you're in town when we do ever take a vacation,
You'll be passing right by.
because I'm going to go charge up and I'll say, hey, come meet me. I'm going to charge up for 20 minutes. Come say hi.
Right. Charger's right, literally 2 minutes from here, the charging station. Both the Tesla one and the Electrify America one. So you're good no matter what.
Still waiting for my adapter.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Well, they're sending a free adapter to people. And I got the email saying it's coming.
My friend in Sarasota who had your car, she had the 20 or 22 or something. Anyway, she traded it in and she got her brand new one, same car, but she has the 25 one, which has the Tesla charger built in.
Right.
And she waited specifically for that. She told the dealer, it's like, nope, I'm waiting for this one. He's like, well, we got other electric car. Nope, this is the one. And so she waited and she got it. Yeah.
Well, they say eventually that's going to be like, they finally decided.
Yes. That's going to be the standard.
Like standard.
Yeah. Which is, please, come on, guys. This is like USB A, B, and C. Come on. Can we just agree on something and use that one?
But you know what? I think the electric car system is doing the same thing. I think they have taken the Apple model,
which is make it different
all the time and give it more bells and whistles every year. And so everybody wants the latest and the greatest, because basically, and that's what my wife was all worried about when we bought ours in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, do you really want an electric car? It's nothing but a computer.
It is nothing but a computer. Absolutely is.
But almost every car, when you really look at the new cars,
yeah,
they're all pretty much computerized.
Yeah, pretty much. They absolutely are, but not to the extent that yours is. Yours is a computer with computers running it. Yeah, it absolutely is. Now, that's the cool thing is you take it into the dealer, he plugs it into the thing and it updates it just like Windows. Hopefully it doesn't give you the blue screen of death while you're driving. But yeah. So that's the good news. It's updatable. Some of them even update, like a Tesla will update over Wi-Fi. I think it'll do over-the-air updates, I think.
I think nowadays, mine, it didn't in the beginning, but I think they've, even with the update now, it can grab the update, from,
Right, just off the air, just out of, off the internet, wherever it is. Does your car connect to the internet?
Well, it connects to Bluetooth.
Yeah, well, not quite the same. But I was thinking, how cool would that be when you pull into the garage that the car connects to the home internet, and that way it can download what it needs and talk to Hyundai and tell it what it's, and Hyundai can say, come in for service. I know.
I will say this though about electric cars too, that I have heard, and especially more and more you hear this, because electric cars now have been out, 6-7 years?
Oh, at least. Yeah.
Like the big worry of a lot of people were the batteries.
Yes.
And the battery, what do they call it? Degenerate, or, where you lose some of your
battery. It loses its ability to fully charge over time. Yes.
Yeah.
Just like your iPhone.
But they're saying what they're learning now, the longer that people have, the batteries.
Yeah.
They might lose like 2% a year.
Yeah.
And there are people now, I guess they've been out 10 years. There are electric cars now that have been out there for 10 years that are on their original batteries and still running just as good as
no doubt.
one.
No doubt. I still, and I've said this on the show before, I'm still not ready for an electric car yet. Not my next one, but maybe the one after my next one. I might be ready for an electric one. But I want to see more charging stations. I'm sorry. Now, maybe once they settle on getting everybody on the Tesla charging system or whatever they pick, I don't care. Just make them all the same. So I don't have to worry about I'm driving along and there's a charger ahead, but oh, I can't use that one. Okay, that sucks. That's like going to a gas station and saying, yeah, we got gas, but you can't pump it. So it's like, what?
Well, and I think what they need to do, and they are starting to do it a little bit, they're making pumps with both.
You mean chargers?
Yeah, chargers with
both.
both.
Yeah. And like you said, when you get your adapter, then you'll be cool. You'll be good to go. So yeah, I get it, but not yet. You're not there just yet, but you're getting there. So, and again, it depends where you live. Now, if you lived in Blue Ridge, Georgia, no. The nearest charger is probably 50 miles away.
I have, I know they have some chargers because I have like probably 5 apps on my phone.
Right.
To help me find, chargers.
Right.
So there are some chargers in Blue Ridge, but they're far and few between, and they're not the speedy ones. Let's just
no.
So that's a problem. But you notice more and more, pop up. And then, if you can get the superchargers, I mean, yeah, it's going to take you 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But really, if you're on a road trip, 10 or 15 minutes is nothing. Because usually you're going to stop, you're going to get a snack.
Yep.
You're going to get out and go to the bathroom.
Yep. You got to stop at Buc-ee's, walk in, get your snacks.
Yeah. And then Buc-ee's has, and they have
Buc-ee's
both.
Buc-ee's
most
has chargers.
Most of the Buc-ee's have both chargers.
Yes. And new Costco's are getting chargers too. Oh, you're making noise. You're not a Costco fan.
No, I'm a Costco fan.
Uh-oh.
Costco fan.
But
to the normal person, this isn't going to mean anything.
But
Hyundai gave you 2 years of free charging.
Yes.
At Electrify America.
Yes. I remember that when my friend got hers.
The Costco in Claremont. Electrify America. There would be times we needed to go to Costco.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get a free charge because we're here.
Yes.
The wife I'm gonna have to tell her she can't go outside no more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but free, free. So we would do it.
I hear a butt coming here.
The other day.
Yes.
I go to Costco.
At Claremont.
And I said, and I was going to charge it home, and I go, yeah, we're going to Costco tomorrow, right? She goes, yeah.
Right.
We'll just charge there. Okay. I go, nothing's happening. It wants my money. What's happening? They have a little phone number. What's wrong? I tell them, my car and who I am and everything else. I go,
yep.
Oh, Costco's now are privately owned by Costco. So if you're yes, they still have them.
Right.
But if it's Electrify America and your Costco has Electrify America, you are now, as far as you're not screwed when it comes to charging.
Right.
But if you have a free charging at Electrify America,
yes,
then you're
SOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that better.
You're juice out of luck. Yes, I hear you. Okay, good. So, well, isn't that interesting? And I hadn't heard that before. Well, I don't have an electric car, so it's not a huge deal for me. But yeah. Do you have an Electrify that's close to you where you live in Claremont that you can use?
Not really.
Not really.
Not electric. The ones I like too when I do have to like if I'm in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have a couple Electrify Americas, but none around the place I use.
Right.
I'm around. I like the EV Go too. EV Go is another.
Don't know that one.
And they do high speed charging too.
There's for those of you who do need an Electrify America, there's one on Bruce B. Downs right off of I-75, one on the north side of Tampa, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts right there and a Panera Bread right there. You plug yourself in, you go get a donut and a coffee, and you're good to go.
And I know that one. I've never been there, but I know that's why I said I'd have to probably, if I'm at the hospital, it's probably a good 20-minute drive. So, but in all honesty, I charge up before I leave home, and we go all the way to Tampa, all the way home and we still got,
Sure.
if we charge 100%, we'll still have 40% by the time we get back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. If I was an old guy like you, living in a small town like you, without a lot to do like you, I would absolutely have an electric car. And I would need a old guy house with a charger as well. So yeah,
I got an old guy
you got all the old guy stuff. You have all the old guy stuff that you need. So you are a perfect candidate for an electric car. Like one of the ladies I play pickleball with, she just got a new car, and she got the Subaru one. And honestly, I'm sorry, Subaru, but it's ugly. It's an ugly electric car. But same thing. Little old lady lives at home, has the charger, very, 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 very little driving. Perfect for her. Perfect.
Well, I was surprised when my wife said how much she likes ours now.
There you go.
But she was against it in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. What does she? Oh, she likes the fact that she doesn't have to pump gas.
Yeah. She likes that. And she likes because she even said, she goes, I don't know, how I'll ever go back. If we ever go back, I don't know how I'll ever go back to a normal car because it has so many bells and whistles.
Well, you can get bells and whistles on any car, but they cost.
Yeah. And now the problem is, since I let her get this Disney
one,
but it cost more than any other Ioniq 5.
Yes.
But it's got all the bells, all the whistles,
all the mouse ears.
No, I don't have that, thank God, but it does have the mouse. Well, it does have mouse ears on the inside.
It's got and have you looked at the wheel covers?
Oh, yeah.
Those are mouse ears.
Yeah, but I was thinking of the old Truly Nolan mouse ears.
That would be cool.
If you're not from Florida, you probably don't know what we're talking about, but Truly Nolan is a pest control
company.
And the guys, I don't know if they still do or not, but they used to drive around in these Volkswagen Bugs.
Yes.
And they had like mouse ears, and they even had a mouse tail.
Yep, they had whiskers. Yep. Whiskers. I remember them. I don't think they're still doing that. That's probably, yeah. But okay. So anyway, no, your car doesn't have mouse ears and a tail. Although it would be cool if it did. maybe we should work on that for like Halloween or something.
Yeah, people pull me over there. Hey, I got some termites. Can you help me out? No, I'm not. Right. Nolan.
We're not truly Nolan. That's funny. That's a great idea. So anyway, you, like I said, you're perfect. You are the perfect person for having an electric car. Awesome. Now you're going to go on vacation. I'm going to look forward to hearing your stories of charging on the road. That's going to be interesting.
You know what? That's why I really want to go. I don't care. I don't even care about all the other stuff that comes along with vacation. I'm excited about when I come back going, oh my God, that was the worst trip of my life. Or come back and go, that's a piece of cake. We stopped. We got right. We got tea. We got, a sandwich. We sat there, we ate the sandwich. Yeah. And then boom, we were on the road.
We'll look forward to hearing the BJ Odom story, the vacation, if the vacation ever happens.
Yeah, if it ever happens.
If it ever happens. So that's cool. Well, good. I mean, I love it. I love it. So good. All right, look at that. We finally gotten through the hour almost. Anything else last minute here?
No, not for me. I'm just, got to go see what the wife wants to do and worry about a couple other things. I may ask you as soon as we sign off here because it doesn't really matter to them, but I'm using my iPad as we're recording this. It goes through my board now. It's all cool. The only thing is that I never had the problem before, but when my wife has to go outside or somebody comes to our door here, it sounds like somebody gets their wings.
Yeah, an angel gets their wings at PJ's house. You probably have the Ring doorbell app on your iPad.
Yes, I do.
And when somebody goes out and activates the doorbell or the whatever, the app notifies you like it's supposed to. You could turn the app off. You could turn off notifications for that app.
Now, can I do that just in this?
Yeah. Well, not on the recording, but before you and I start recording on the iPad, you go into settings and you turn it off, and then you come back and you turn it back on afterwards, and you should be good to go.
I might just erase it because I don't really need it on my iPad. I got it on my phone. That's what.
So we've also been, because we're on the iPad and BJ's using the fancy FaceTime camera, when he moves now, the camera follows him. So it's very cinematic.
I hate that though, because I don't see it. You see it, but
I see it. And if you were to do, wait a minute, if you were to do a heart, if you do a heart, will it recognize that? Or if you do the hands thing, if you do, try that. Just do the hands thing. No. Okay. You might have that turned off, because and it might also just be on FaceTime, because if you have an iPhone and you're FaceTiming your friends, you can do a thumbs up and it'll have a little thumbs up float across the screen and all that fun stuff. So, but anyway, that's up to you.
And again, this has nothing to do, and our audience will not care at all.
You're assuming our audience cares about anything we talk about.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But my phone, I used to do all of my Gift of Life, the organ transplant podcast.
Yep.
I used to do them all on my iPhone, and it would go through my board with Bluetooth.
Yep.
And it all worked perfect. Well,
now
now
it doesn't.
I've got a new iPhone. Everything is hooked up the same way. The settings are the same for using the internet, but it's wonky.
They're wonky. That's a technical term, folks. Wonky.
But the iPad,
it doesn't work.
And doing it, we're doing our podcast, works great. And that's the way I'm going to have to start doing my Gift of Life podcast.
Nobody cares about any of this, so we might as well just wrap it up for the day. Well, folks, we appreciate you being with us here. We had some interesting new things to talk about today. So anyway, we'll see if BJ Odom actually gets out of town on vacation or not next week, right?
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
Not gonna happen. Oh boy.
Well, not next week. It'd be the week after.
Week after. We'll find out. We'll be here either way next week. We appreciate you. Go ahead and leave that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Visit us on Facebook at the BJ and Bill the Podcast. Do a search for that. You can find us there, or email the show, bjandbillthepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us. Until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.
Flip the dial, take a ride back in time when the airways were golden and the DJs shine. 2 mics, 2 guys, and a whole lot of laughs. Living like legends, bringing stories back. No script, no rules, just telling it all. From theme park tales to a pickleball